Hello friends, this is Paul, Oscar Mike Zero Echo Tango, and welcome to the new video about a new antenna for me. It is not a new design, but it's a new antenna for me because I never tried the frame antenna before. So as you can see here on the pictures, how this antenna actually looks like, and also how this antenna actually works. The design of the frame antenna is very similar to the magnetic loop antenna, and you can find hundreds of the plans on the internet how to make this antenna because it's a very simple construction. But my question was if it's worth to make this antenna and if it's worth to use this antenna in the field. So here is the schematic diagram of this antenna, and let me explain how this antenna actually works. So here we can see the coaxial feed line cable made of the RG58, and the center pole is directly connected to the coil, and the coil is made of the wire. It's made of the 7 turns of the wire. The second end of this coil is directly connected to the air variable capacitor. The second end of the variable capacitor is connected to the braid of the feed line cable or to the shield of the coaxial cable. Seems that this antenna is a multiband because we can see here the small jumper with the crocodile and the points where this crocodile will be connected to. And I need to remove the isolation from the wire here and then connect the crocodile. Actually, I will bypass a few of the turns of this coil, and I will change the frequency or resonant frequency of the antenna itself. And this way I will change the bands on the antenna. Okay, so here is the design of this frame antenna. And as you can see here that the input is made of this RG58 coaxial cable. We need to make also the current balloon here on the bottom to prevent the RF coming out from the antenna to your transceiver. Okay, here we can see the box where will be the capacitor located in, and also we can see these 7 turns of the coil. Antenna itself, the construction or the body of the antenna is made of this cross. I will make this cross of this plastic PVC tube, which is 25 millimeter in diameter. This wire used on my antenna will be the copper wire, and the thickness is 1.5 millimeters squared. Here as this box with the capacitor, I will use my old version 4 magnetic loop antenna, and I will drill the holes here for 2 screws on the sides. Inside is used the capacitor, which is maybe 180 picofarad capacity, because this capacitor is connected in the serial fashion. So 2 gangs are connected in serial fashion, and total capacity on the both sides is about 180 picofarad maximum. Okay, so that's the plan, and now let me start to make this antenna. And my question is it worth to make, and will this antenna actually works? So let's get started, we'll see. Okay, so let me start with the construction of this antenna first. So I will make these 2 tubes for the main body of this antenna. This vertical tube will be 76.2 centimeter long. I will make this pipe 77 centimeter long, and this horizontal will be 74 centimeter long. Now, when the pipes lengths are cutted, I need to mark the center lengths of the both pipes. So the length of this shorter divided 2 is 37 centimeters. 74 divided 2 is 37 centimeters. So I marked these lengths here on the pipes. Also 37 centimeters I marked here from the upper end of this pipe to the center. So this is 37, this is 37, and this is also 37 centimeters. Now I will mark this bottom line of this pipe, also 37 centimeters, and this lengths what left will leave for the box. And my plan to hold these two pipes in the middle, as you can see here in this point, I plan to use an old plastic square, and I use it to screw this plastic with the screw through the hole of this pipe, and to hold this plastic here, and this horizontal plastic tube I will hold here the same way, but in this position, and the screws will be somewhere here and also somewhere here in the pipe, so here and here. And this kind of connection in the middle. Depends on the material what you have. The square in the middle, you can choose the size of the screw hole. In my case it is 4 centimeters. And now the vertical Here I will use 1.5 centimeters, the distance of the screws. I use this tool, as you can see on my left hand, just to help to keep these holes on the same line of the pipe. That's the purpose of this tool, as you can see. So this is the center or top of this pipe, which is 25 millimeter thick. I pre-drill with a smaller diameter. And now with the bigger one. And now I'm drilling through the pipe. And as you can see here, the pipe is drilled, and I need to make these holes bigger for the screwdriver and also for these screws, which I would like to use to fix this pipe in the plastic. And I'm using this kind of drill. And I need to do the same holes into the horizontal pipe. And also the holes through the pipe. Just be sure that I'm going to straight forward. Okay. Should be fine. Alright, and now with this bigger drill, just one side. Alright, let me try. Is it fine? Not enough. So one more. Yeah, this is good. So repeat this on these all holes. Alright, so the holes are there, and now I can fix these pipes on the plastic. Alright, so I marked these lengths to this plastic, and I need to pre-drill the holes here for this screw. And the same thing, I need to pre-drill the holes here for the vertical pipe. And for this length, for the vertical, I will use 1.5 centimeters, the distance from the center. It's right here. And right here. Okay. It is right angle here. It's important to have the antenna straight up and not to the side. And pre-drill again for the vertical pipe. Okay, so let me check. There is the hole, and here, yeah, there is the hole. Great. Good, so the fixation in the center has been done, and now it's time to drill the holes to the pipes, to these ends of the pipes for the wires. Because I'm using this 1.5 millimeter square copper wire, I need to drill 3 millimeters wide holes to this pipe, and I decided to start the first hole 1 centimeter from the end of each pipe. So I will mark 1 centimeter here. So from the end of the pipe. So here is the hole for the first turn. And I will continue in 1 centimeter for each hole, because it is a 7 and it could be too much So 1 centimeter, I think it's going to be fine. This is turn number 2. Number 3. Four. 5. 6. And the last one. This is the 7. Okay, so here you can see the 7 holes, or the 7 marks, and now I will drill the holes through the pipe. And again, we need to be precise, to go straight forward. Or we can drill the same pattern from the opposite side to be precise. Yeah, I will do that. Alright, so here we can see these holes. As you can see that one is a little bit out of line, but yeah, okay, it's just a prototype. And the same I will do on the second side. And now you can see how it looks like when it's finished. I have 7 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the same pattern I need to do on all 4 sides of the 2 pipes I have prepared. Okay, so 56 holes are complete and finished. So on these all sides of this pipe you can see the lines for the wire. And I repeat again, this is 3 millimeters, 3 millimeter wide holes in it. And the next step will be to use this hub, or the center hub, and to fix these pipes on this hub with the screws. I pre-drilled already this plastic, so now I should just screw these pipes on. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's holding very good. So now I need to fix this counter side like this. and the second screw. As I said, the magnetic screwdriver is a very good helper in this case. All right, perfect. Okay, and here you can see this cross shape of the antenna. So now it's time for winding the wire on the frame. Alright, so here you can see this cross shape of the frame of this antenna, and down on the bottom I decided to use such kind of prolonging this antenna by this short piece of plastic and the very same mounting adapter which I normally use on my magnetic loop antennas, with 1/4 thread, which I normally use for such kind of camera tripods. So I just need this one, and I will use this pipe, and here on top I put the antenna. So I think this is a good position for winding turns on the frame. Before I start winding this turns, I would like to say some advice for you. So I fully recommend to do something like that with the wire. Just leave a little bit longer end of the wire and put some solder on it, and the wire become to be a little bit heavier, and you can easily put the wire through the pipe from one hole to the second hole. This is my advice, and the second advice is start with this hole and end with this hole. So it will be much easier to see the wire when you will winding one by one. And from the side of the pipe, let's say from the side here, you will see each one, and if you will need some help with this wire inside the pipe, you can just use your finger or something and help this wire go through the second hole. So my advice is to start with this internal first hole and ends with the lower hole. Okay, so now I'm trying to put this wire inside. As you can see here, fine. And here. Okay. I also recommend to make the holes a little bigger for better winding. So this way I will make a first turn of this antenna. with bigger holes will be much easier to put the wire through the holes. For example, here I have the same problem here. Here on this side is the hole too tight, and it's really difficult to put this wire through the hole. So I need to take the drill and make this hole a bit bigger. I'm going to make these holes bigger, just a little bigger. I don't want to make them bigger too much. So I take the same drill, 3mm drill, and do this thing. Okay, and also the same with this drill, with these holes. I need to find it, okay. And make this hole bigger. So now let's see if this modification helped. Yes, it helped. It's much better now. So my advice, use bigger holes. All right. So now it is the first turn on my frame antenna. So now I'm going to continue to winning all 7 turns. And that's the second turn. Nice and funny. So turn number 3. And that's the turn number 3. Going to turn number 4. And turn number 4 is finished. Okay. I will tighten the wire after finish. So it doesn't matter that it is not really nice at this moment. They are not much tight, the wires. So the turn number 5 finished, and 2 turns left. That's the turn number 6. And the last 7th turn. It's very easy to do, but it takes a lot of time because the wire is long, and yeah, it takes a time to put the wire through the holes, tight the wire, but it's not so bad. All right, so this is the final one. I need just a bit tight. All right. And that's the turn number 7. And as you can see, that 15 meters of this wire was enough, quite enough. And just a short piece of wire left, and I will use just this, maybe, I don't know, maybe 30 centimeters for the jumper. That's the plan. And now I need to tie the wires. So I will start from this first one and I will tie every single one. That's the wire number 2. Okay. If it's boring, you can go forward in your video. But we need this wire not moving. You can see that how much this wire was. So I am now on the number 4. This is number 5. I'm on number 6. That is number 6. Wow, that is my very first frame antenna. I never tried this kind. So this is number 6 and I'm going to number 7. You can see that the wires are pretty tight now. And also it looks much better. So the final wire, and here we go. Okay, so you can see that this design is pretty, very pretty. I like it. And here on bottom I will place my old box from the version 4 magnetic loop, but inside is installed and ready to go the air capacitor with the knob on the bottom. So I just need to drill here the holes for the screws, and I need to solder the soldering eyes on each end of these wires. And then the antenna should be ready to go. I need to remove the isolation from the wire and make place for the jumper connection. Okay, so the next step will be to finish this box and also cut this wire, make the soldering eye here, and I think that the antenna should be ready. My plan is to drill the hole here to this box and also here, and then I would like to use these screws. So I have a soldering eye and the screw, and here to this soldering eye will be connected the wire from the capacitor, and this is gonna be here through the plastic, and the other side will be the same washer and the nut. I will tight these washers against, and the place will be there, will stay there I will use for the second eye for the wire from the frame antenna. And also I can use a washer, and I can use the nut, the classic nut, or I can also use the wing nut to fix the wire on it. So let's get started. I'm using screw number 5 or 5mm screw. I need to be careful. I have a capacitor inside, so right, so the holes are there. Yeah, contacts needs to be clean, and then is it fine. Okay, I'm going to use a fan washer here for a better connection between the screw and the soldering eye. Then I have a bigger washer, and this washer I will put inside, and the screw I will put inside the box. But firstly I need to remove the capacitor from the box. Okay, so you can see that the screws are on the place, and the wires are ready to be soldered to this capacitor. Okay, it's finished. You can see the wirings with the screws inside, also outside. So the next step is to mount the BNC connector, which I like on my antennas. And here is the place for it. as you can see here, and we need to connect the feed line connection right here, the center pole, to the wire, directly to the wire here, and the ground connection from the body of this connector to here, to this capacitor. And from here will be the jumper for the band selection. Internal wiring has been completed right now. As you can see, there's the BNC connector, and the center pole is connected to the wire, and the ground is soldered and connected to the capacitor. Here you can see two gangs, and the first one is connected to the one gang, second one is connected to the second gang and of the stators, and then this is connected to the second wire and also to the jumper. Okay, so in this way it should work. Capacity between the two gangs in a split stator mode may be something around 180 picofarads. So I'm not sure if I go down to 80 meters, but maybe 40 should work. Okay, so now I'm going to close this box, and we'll check the cable for jumper. Okay, so I cut the wires from antenna, and I need to prepare the soldering eyes on these wires. So I'm using the heat rings on both wires, and solder things. Now the second one. All right. And the soldering eyes, where are they? That's the connection for the center pole of the BNC. Is going directly to the wire, and this is the output from capacitor. And also here will be the jumper. So this side I can fix. Okay. But here I need to add the jumper. I'm doing the branches on the antenna wires. So by the schematic diagram and by the pictures here on the antenna, we can see two branches on top and two branches on the bottom, and the first one is the 80, 75, 40 and 20 meters. Also here is 30 meters. I'm not gonna do this because I am not active on 30 meters. So I just need this 4, and then I need to make this short jumper wire. All right, this layer will fight against the oxidation of the copper, and the crocodile clamp okay, and of course I use the cover for it. I do not have the black one, but I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, rah rah. Also the heat shrink, and okay, and this jumper is the final thing, and currently I have finished my project of the frame antenna. So now I will take the frame antenna to home and I will test this antenna with my antenna analyzer, and also I will use the Zygu X5105 how this antenna really works, if works. So I'm very curious. Okay, so the jumper, I just need to install this jumper on my antenna. So again, the jumper will be connected right after the capacitor. So it is on the output of the capacitor. All right. So seems that this was the last thing to finish the frame antenna, and it's time to connect the antenna to my transceiver and test how it will work. Yes, of course, I can't forget, for this detail I'm using the cap or the caps for the ends of the pipes, so antenna will look more professional. Okay, so antenna is finished or has been finished, and now you can see the frame, homemade frame antenna in detail. So it was about 5 or 6 hours of building this antenna, but I filmed the whole process. So in real, normally it should take maybe 4 hours to make this homemade frame antenna. So you can see that in a detail how it looks like. How it looks like from the side. From the side. And from the back. Not bad for the homemade antenna. What do you think, guys? Okay, so now it's time to take this antenna home and let's see if it will work or maybe not.